Hi, so in this video I'm going to summarize chapters 1 to 3. I'm not going to go into the content, just kind of things I've learned along the way. This is part 1 of the book, but if you're doing the video lessons, part 1 is actually like a whole course, which doesn't line up with the part 1 in the book, so let's just call it chapters 1 to 3. So chapter 1 and 2 basically cover building a model, like what is a model, and get you really deep into the weeds and actually go into how you would actually deploy the model as well. And then chapter 3 goes into data ethics. So in the previous video, I set up AWS SageMaker to actually run the models. I hit a bit of a stumbling block there because it was costing me a lot of money. It's like 90 cents US dollars or $1.25 Canadian if you convert it. One of the models took like 40 minutes to run and then failed with an out of memory error. And even though the notebook did say that that probably is going to happen and what to do about it, I kind of thought, well, if I'm just going to be sitting here for 40 minutes and then I'm just going to get the output, which is pretty much the same as is in the book or specified in the notebook, then I might as well just use my imagination for those larger ones. And then for the smaller ones, I can just run on my MacBook. So I actually just set the notebooks up on my MacBook. I'm going to put a gist on GitHub with a link in the description below so you can see those commands. But yeah, basically my plan has been, and still is, as I continue to go through the book, that I'm just going to run these on my MacBook. And if they're too big, then I just won't run them, use my imagination, imagine I ran them. And if I get to a point where I actually do want to work with larger models and iterate on those and use like GPUs and more power, then I've got the AWS SageMaker environment and I can run that. But so far I kind of think it's really not worth setting that up until you need to later. So one of the good model training exercises you do is using Bing Image Search API, and for that you need the API key, which is really hard to find, and Jeremy Howard even says in the videos that that's probably the hardest part of the course, is getting that key and getting set up. So I set up an Azure account on Azure Cloud and I still couldn't find it. So I Googled around and I found a link in a forum. And even after I'd set it up, I couldn't find in Azure how to get to that page. So I'm going to post that link down below so you can go directly there. I can't give any more information on that, unfortunately. But yeah, that's a really good exercise and it was able to run on my MacBook Pro. So that was good. So I could play around with that. So yeah, that's the first 3 chapters. The data ethics one is really important. It covers race, inequality, injustice. That's kind of baked into our society. And when we start extracting that data from our society, it's obviously got those injustices and everything baked in there. And all machine learning is going to do is just amplify those things and create feedback loops. So that's definitely a big problem, and it's a really important topic of just how machine learning can do good, but can also do a lot of harm. And I actually want to do another video on that. So I'm also doing the Coursera machine learning course at the same time. So if you're interested in the differences between the two, I can definitely do a video on that at some point. So just leave a comment down below. So I'm going to continue going through this book. It's a really good book, really good course. Totally recommend it. I'm also, as I mentioned, doing the Coursera machine learning course in parallel. So if you're interested in either of those 2 things, let me know. There's a lot of spin-off things such as digging into Khan Academy, like updating your mathematics on linear algebra and MATLAB courses. So yeah, if you're interested in all that, follow along and yeah, see you in the next one.